As it always does, when Gears of War releases a game, talks of a movie rev up, and then after release, the talks subside. Maybe it's the game's release that vents off the build-up and anticipation and stops being something at the forefront of people's minds, and thus those involved determine, it's not an ideal candidate to turn into a movie. Then again, Tomb Raider just got a new movie recently, and I'd argue that Gears of War has an equally rich storyline. However, it seems studios can be a little gun-shy about making video game films, and for good reason. With Gears of War 5 well on its way and set to dominate the social lives of fans in ways that girlfriends cannot comprehend because they do not understand that fighting the Locust is bigger than a relationship, and those grub SOBs made it personal. With that in the works, once again, talks have ramped up, with Dave Bautista said to be in talks of helming the main character of the Gears franchise, Marcus Phoenix. And just like that, talks are off to the races, but as far as I can tell right now, they're nothing more than just talks. Gears of War is a great game with a rich, scary, dark story. A world carefully crafted by developers that ties the story into the game in a cohesive manner, from battle-worn, gothic-inspired architecture to the brutal Lancer rifle, which allows the gamer to channel Leatherface and chainsaw through words are hard, guys, and allows the gamer to chainsaw through grubs when walls of lead happen to fail. All this combines into a finished product that feels like everything fits, and the film would have to recreate this tone so the characters feel like they have been at war for 80 years in the Pendulum Wars and then 14 years of war with the grubs by the point of the first game. This is a society being portrayed that has been at war for nearly a solid century, and understanding that would help with making a cohesive tone that matches that of the game. Also, I'm just throwing this out there that the film should be rated R. I mean, anyone who's played Gears of War knows that. Story is a major element of any film, and luckily Gears of War is a rich well to draw upon. Between the original trilogy of games, which are the best in my opinion, then Gears of War 4 and 5 is coming out soon, and if that's not enough source material to work with, then you have the 5 novels and handful of comic books that flesh out the lore of Gears of War, describing what happened before and between the games. The story should be one of those. Telling the exact story of the game's campaign, mission for mission, and event by event would be too extensive to fit in the film, even at 2.5 hours long. It would still feel kind of rushed and like it was skipping over a lot. That route of telling the exact story would be best handled by handing it over to HBO, because they are good at war miniseries, and them making a Gears of War miniseries, that would probably work. A movie would best tell one of the stories that's depicted in the books or the comics, because it would not have to live up to the game and cram hours upon hours of gameplay into 2 or 2.5 hours of film. Characters are important, but not my major concern. So long as they are careful with casting, I'm not overly worried about it. But should they go forwards with this project, it is my sincere hope that they understand that the games, but should they go forwards with this you know, what happened was, when I was thinking about this, I wrote down the stuff, and then I, wrote it out, and I just can't seem to read it. I'm not dyslexic, I'm just stupid. But should they go forwards with this project, it's my sincere hope that they understand that in the games, the Locusts are an ever-present danger, able to pop up at any time, and often do. They menace the cogs and survivors with their ability to be anywhere. The Locusts in the film should be present often, and hopefully it will be done with practical makeup effects whenever possible, leaving CGI to the larger Locusts like Boomers, Corpsers, Berserkers, and Brumok. Ordinary Locust drones or Theron Gar are humanoid enough and comparable in size to humans that they could be done with practical makeup effects and look terrifyingly real. Ultimately, this entire video could be an exercise in wasting time. It's not the first time a film for this game has been discussed, or really any big title game, but generally it never goes anywhere for whatever reason, like creative differences, money, and so on. Anyway, if you have any thoughts or opinions of literally anything, drop them below in the comments, and have a great day.